Welcome. I'm Tim Fortescue, an IFS trained practitioner specializing in spiritual growth and healing. Whether you're healing from religious trauma or seeking guidance on your journey, I'm here to support you. And so grateful to be back with you for another week. Do this each week, which is 9 a.m. US Central or Chicago time. Feel free to ask questions in the chat and I'll address them at the end of the time. If you're watching a recording, go ahead and put your questions in too, and I'll either bring them back next week or engage with you in the comments of this video. If you find this content here helpful, please like, share, subscribe, follow, and share it with others who might benefit. If you're new to IFS, visit exploreifs.com to learn more. And while you're there, sign up for my free IFS guided meditations if you haven't already. And that'll get you added to a weekly email list where I send out some resources each Monday to support you on your parts work journey. And if you have questions too, you can always reach out to me via email at tim@faithfullygrowing.com. I'm here to help. And if you're ready to dive deeper, you can join the Faithfully Growing community by clicking the top banner on the website, either faithfullygrowing.com or exploreifs.com. And that gives you ongoing support, including a weekly drop in each Thursday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. US Central Time. And you also get meditations to enhance your practice. And there's a great search function in that community. If you're learning about firefighters or blending or other things IFS related, you can type that in and it brings up any videos or content where I'm talking about that. So check that out if it sounds like it may be helpful for you. So today, going to give us a mid-year reflection. We're about halfway through the year. Where have we been? Where are we going? Notice what comes up as we acknowledge being halfway through the year for you. Are there parts that feel pressure, pride, shame, hope? Reflecting doesn't have to be big or dramatic. Even small insights matter. Even pausing and remembering right now can be helpful. Internal progress might not look like external change. What parts feel more understood or less reactive? I'll lead us in a meditation in a bit to be a little more reflective. Relationships with parts shift over time. Acknowledge the ones that feel closer or more cooperative without shaming those that may still be building trust because they all belong, they all matter. What's coming up for them, what's coming up for you matters. Because goals, even though been told over and over again, and I have parts that react to that word, they aren't about productivity. They can be about presence, healing, or clarity. So ask yourself, what progress have I made in my internal work? How have my relationships with my parts evolved? What are my intentions for the rest of the year? And reflect on that as we do our meditation. You don't have to finish strong. Sometimes we don't. You just have to keep showing up. Your system's always listening. And remember, small, loving steps matter. So let's begin our meditation as we continue reflecting for a bit. Find a comfortable position, seated or lying down. Begin by noticing your breath. No need to change it. Just become aware of it. And let your shoulders drop. Let your body settle. Turn your attention inward. As you breathe, become aware of the inner landscape. Those parts. Maybe they surface as thoughts, feelings, sensations. Let them know you're here. There's nothing to fix. Just be with what is. Now invite any parts of you that want to check in at this midpoint of the year. You might notice images, emotions, or physical sensations. You don't have to force anything, just notice. And ask gently, what progress have I made in my internal work? Let it let those answers come naturally without judgment. Now ask, how have my relationships with my parts evolved? Notice if any protectors want to speak. Maybe some are still on alert. Maybe others feel more trusting. Thank them all for how they've helped you so far this year. If an exile peeks out, offer it kindness. Let it know you're here. Those are those young, vulnerable little ones that our protectors often protect. Sometimes they think we're those little ones. They don't know who we are today. It's actually often the case. Ask, what are my goals or intentions for the rest of the year? Notice which parts get activated by that question. Is there hope, fear, resistance? Let each part know it doesn't have to carry this all alone. Just pause and be with your parts for just a bit. See if there's anything else before we wrap up. Notice the parts that show up, that have showed up today, and thank them. Let them know you'll continue to check in. There's a beautiful team here. Notice how your body feels now. Let whatever needs or wants to soften, soften. If that doesn't feel natural, just welcome in that urge to resist. It all belongs. And begin to bring your awareness back to where you are. Wiggle your fingers or toes. When you're ready, you can open your eyes if they were closed. Carry this sense of connection and compassion with you as you return to life. You're doing meaningful work, one breath, one part, one moment at a time. Thanks so much for your courage and meeting me here today and week after week for those that are able. I'll pause for just a bit. If you have questions, you can put them in the comments. If you're watching a recording, you can always send me an email to tim@faithfullygrowing.com, or you can put your questions in as you're watching the recording, and I'll either bring them back next week, do this each week at the same time, or I'll engage in the comments there. Thanks so much for that thumbs up, and thanks, Lynn, if you're here. And yeah, so grateful for this community that we're developing here. And no, you're not alone. Take care of yourself and your parts this week, and drop back by next week if you can. All right. Thank you all so much. And yeah, hope the rest of your week goes well, and reach out if you need to. All right. Take care.